Yeah, and it doesn't even take into consideration, obviously, population growth in that time, this insatiable demand that we're seeing from AI that's yet to really hit. I mean, that is going to be gargantuan. It's why they're bringing back so many old mothballed nuclear power stations, particularly in the US. But what about the other report, the 150-page document where it just mentions net zero only once? It just says it's the policy. It doesn't advocate for, doesn't defend it, makes it clear that there's only this 12-month window to achieve the unachievable. I mean, is this the regulator, in effect, just waving the white flag?
Well, the regulator really has its hands tied behind its back, because it's clear from reading the report that everything is predicated on meeting the government's objectives and not considering anything else. So it's really not a least cost option. It's a least cost pathway to something that, by its own admission, looks now impossible to achieve.
What about the big news that slipped out this afternoon that Victoria's about to open up new gas exploration permits? We're talking here particularly about the Otway and the Gippsland basins. This is the first release of these mapped areas since 2018. You and I have long talked about the fact that there's plenty of gas in Victoria. We talk about a supply challenge. There's certainly no gas issues. There's just issues getting it out of the ground and into use. But it's interesting, you know, you didn't see the Premier out there announcing this. This is just dribbled out, and it's been industry who's drawn it to our attention. That's
right. This is another light bulb moment has gone off in Victoria that all their plans are impossible without more gas. Bass Strait has been running out of reserves. The Victorian government has been studiously ignoring it for past 5 years, and suddenly it's decided it has to open up some acreage and get some production, but isn't brave enough to tell everybody about it. It's a huge backflip, and it's also one that's badly needed and long overdue. Yeah, of course, if gas is running out, so says the experts in Victoria in 2027. Thank you, Chris Yorman. He's all over this. He drew that one to my attention late this afternoon. What about this cost revision too? On the transition bill, it's been revised up. It'll never get revised down. It's been revised up by $3 billion to $128 billion, Graham. Well, that's right. Look, that's only the start of the story. That figure of $128 billion is an artificial figure. It's one that's been modelled, if you like, to take account of what values of money will be in the future, but more importantly, what the cost or what the financial benefit is of reducing emissions. So the real figure on what it's going to cost is much, much larger than $128 billion. And modelling that was done by Frontier Economics has put it at about $650 billion. And AEMO, by its own admission, is saying that the capital cost of doing these things is going up substantially. So even that $600 billion figure would be very conservative by the time the money's actually spent. I don't know about you, but I mean, I'm looking for a bit of Christmas hope as we slide into the end of the year. I get a sense, Graham, that we are starting to turn the tide and have a fact-based, engineering-based, reality-based assessment on where we're headed in terms of energy. Is that fair? Well, I think what we're seeing is someone's going to be left holding the baby at the end of the day. And all the institutions who've been cheering along from the sidelines are starting to raise the flag. And so all suggestions are that it's Chris Bowen who's going to be left holding it when it doesn't work out or reality comes to the surface. And he's got an opportunity to take stock of that now, but there's little indication he's going to do anything other than pass it on to the next guy. I think he'll quit. I think he'll shuffle off. I think he'll head off to global pastures, let's call it that, before he has to deal with the reality of his mess. I'll leave it there. Thank you, Graham.